She stares at you, not because you said something clever, but because you don't give a fuck. The room shifts when you walk in, not because you're loud, but because you're authentic, congruent, and aligned. And this is something that can be felt. Most men, most people are walking around, putting on false facades, wearing social masks, parading around, seeking external validation from themselves to fill the emptiness, the gap and void that they had from their childhood traumas. Is anybody real anymore? That being said, fellas, in today's video, I'm gonna be talking to you guys and be breaking down 8 undeniable traits that if you can implement, exude, adopt, and more importantly, become, women will crave you on an innate, visceral, primal level. Now, I was gonna name this video 8 reasons why women crave Renaissance men. But nobody really knows what the fuck a Renaissance man is, even though I talk about it quite often. So that being said, fellas, what is the first trait that will undeniably make women crave you as a man? Let's get right into it. The first trait is gonna be multifaceted / dynamic. I probably spell faceted wrong. I don't care. Multifaceted dynamic. Let's get into it. In this day and age, fellas, it is not enough for you to be a one-trick pony. And this is across anything, any industry. You have to be dynamic. And your ability to be dynamic, not only socially, intellectually, physically, right? I talked to you guys about building your body like a hybrid athlete, but you being able to dive into different domains such as the arts, such as combat, such as intellectual conversations, right? Spiritual conversations, understanding different perspectives, right? You being a multifaceted man will not only intrigue her on a deep level, it's going to intrigue anybody that you come across because you are an idiosyncratic individual. You are unique. And so now, when you are a unique man and you stand out from the crowd, what happens? Well, that invites people to do what? I've always spoken to you guys in terms of communication. That invites people to lean in. Now, when I say lean in, people will lean into you to try to figure you out, especially the woman. Why? Because women are constantly trying to figure you out, especially if they're interested in you. This is why they will throw you certain tests psychologically, which we've spoken about in many videos. I'm not going to stay there, but your ability to be, one, authentically yourself, congruent, and a man that is multifaceted, a modern day Renaissance man, will make people lean in through their curiosity. So once you're able to be this authentic man, and then by proxy, you are curious, you're a mystery, right? Which women innately want to solve you like a book. Now, I always say that you gentlemen have to make a woman earn you. The issue with most men these days is that whenever they start to gain or garner attention of a woman, right, especially attractive woman, especially if you are a gentleman that's not accustomed to the attention of attractive women, you will give yourself away cheaply. Now, what happens when you give yourself away cheaply? Well, your status goes down, right? Why does your status go down? I've said this in many videos before. A woman is best in a relationship when she is chasing, seeking your approval as a man, when you are aggrandized and you are in the position of leverage in the relationship, right? Now, let's be adult here for a second. When you say leverage, what do you mean leverage? What I mean is there's somebody in a relationship that's always going to be more invested, right, with fervor, right, as opposed to the other one, right? In order for the masculine and feminine dynamic to work, somebody has to be the adored, meaning you're going to have to be in a position to where she's looking up to you. All these things coincide because by your sheer prowess, your capacity, this is going to signal various things to her. You are intelligent, meaning you can lead, you can provide, you can protect, right? You displaying your prowess, not just like trying to show off, but just situations happening to where you showcase that, yeah, you are a capable man. Maybe you guys are somewhere and there is a language barrier. Oh, you just so happen to speak Italian. You just so happen to speak Spanish. You just so happen to know this or know a guy that knows a guy, but you are a man that is dynamic. And when you showcase these little subtle hints, right, of your prowess, of your status, of your authority, and you make a woman have to uncover you slowly and peel back the layers, you will become desired, okay? You will become undeniable, and you will now become a 400-page book that women have to uncover, okay? And so what you notice too is by you becoming a dynamic man, which is not easy, you getting all of these skills and acquiring and building up the acumen through years of sheer effort, you now become confident. And when we talk about confidence, when we talk about being magnetic, right? When we talk about being magnetic, right? This is something that is deeply rooted in a man through his confidence and through his congruency, as I said before, through his alignment. So by you acquiring these skills, being multifaceted, having worked on yourself so much, you're going to value yourself more. You're going to be more confident. That confidence is going to radiate, and it's something that can be felt, which is why people will lean into you, why people will be curious about you, especially when you're not trying to fake it online in personal interactions, when you're just being yourself. Now you become that guy that's mysterious, but you have a presence to you. You have an aura, which all these people are talking about these days, and you will be undeniable to women. So if you're able to cultivate these skills, and the reason why this isn't sexy is because this takes years, okay? The reason why this isn't sexy is because this is not something that you can fake. This is not a YouTube video where you could just watch this 7 tips to do this, and then you're gonna try to implement this tomorrow and walk out and think that women are gonna drop to their knees for you. No. Everything that I teach you guys here is with effort, it's with congruency, it's with consistency, and you're gonna have to iterate and mold it to be more applicable to your personal life. And so once you're able to become this multifaceted Renaissance man and become dynamic, what you're gonna notice is that people are gonna gravitate towards you, and women are gonna be way more cooperative with you because they can already feel your status. They can feel that you are a different man through the sheer effort that you've put in on yourself. Because like I always say, atraemos lo que somos. You attract what we are. And if you become this man of preeminence and great grandeur, surely your external reality will reflect that through the women and the mates that you start to attract to yourself. And so if you're having a hard time retaining women right now, it says more about you than it says about them. Let's get into number 2, fellas. What's the second undeniable trait that makes women crave you on a deep level? What is it, fellas? The second undeniable trait is going to be you are always constantly learning and evolving. Now, a man's curiosity is very sexy. Well, curiosity is what has me in this high-rise building right now. Curiosity is what has this camera here, is what has this whiteboard here. A man's curiosity is what creates the world. And so your ability to constantly be a student, admit that you don't know everything, but keep on learning, right, is deeply sexy. Why? Because you are constantly evolving, constantly growing, studying, right, moving forward, which a woman wants to be a part of. A woman wants to be on a ride. How many times have you heard, I'm bored, you're so boring, right? If you can constantly keep growing and pushing and take your woman on the ride with you, because naturally the woman wants to be the helper, the woman wants to be the server. I don't care what anybody says in Western media. I know the majority of the people that watch me are from the West, but as a man that has lived all over the world, I'm telling you right now, if you can continuously grow and evolve and push yourself to the brinks of insanity as a man and bring a woman alongside with you that's on your program, that trusts your leadership, you're going to lead her to more intelligence, more experiences, more fulfillment, and you will be desired deeply. You will be undeniable. She will crave you because you are an effective leader. You are a student to life. You see, I've oftentimes said this before. You see, most leaders, they want to be adored. They want to be aggrandized. They want to be worshiped. I'm intelligent. I'm all of these different things. I'm a leader. Respect me. I've said before, a truly effective leader focuses on empowering those that follows him, empowering them to think for themselves, empowering them to be confident, to love themselves. If you can be an effective leader and you're constantly evolving, you're constantly learning, you're constantly inquiring, you're curious as a man, and you're pushing the envelope, and you're taking a women alongside with you on this journey and leading them, right? Through education and curiosity, through faith, what have you. You're not only going to build yourself up, you're going to build this woman up, and she's going to be fervent for you. She's going to be passionate for you. It's going to be a continuous ride. And also on a psychological level, this woman is going to feel what? This woman is going to feel indebted to you. Now, what do I mean by indebted? You've taught her all these things. You're a congruent man that's aligned. So you don't need to be with her. If she chooses to be here, fantastic. If she chooses to go, fantastic. You're going to keep growing regardless. And because you are this dynamic man that we spoke about in number 1, you're magnetic. You're going to attract more women, more people. You have this essence to you that is forward. And the reason why you're forward is because you're constantly learning. And you can admit that you don't know everything, right? You have a future. So you've displayed acumen in terms of intelligence. You've displayed progression, provision, forward thinking, right? And now you have this woman who you're building up, right? As well, she's going to be indebted to you psychologically, right? I'm not saying she's not going to go anywhere, but honestly, when she weighs out the options, who else am I going to go with? I have this guy that's all of these things. Where am I going to go? And then you guys want to know how to retain a woman, right? How to retain a woman, excuse me. You retain a woman by not giving a fuck. You being the best version of yourself continuously. And this woman understanding how privileged she is to be in the presence of a man that's idiosyncratic. All right. This is how you do it. So the second trait that you need to have as a man to be desirable, to be craved by women, right? To be undeniable is that you have to have a future. You have to keep on growing. You have to be dynamic, right? You have to always be learning, always striving. And this goes across every single area of life. Oftentimes when I make these videos talking to you gentlemen about women, you can see how it permeates into every area, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're not learning how to better your body, better your mind, how to network, sales, all these different skills, when you start dealing with women, I've oftentimes said that relationships, business, right? All these things are tied. And so the reason why you need to become congruent as a man is because once you become congruent and aligned, every single facet of your life tends to get easier. So this is number 2, fellas. Let's move into number 3. Number 3, what is the third trait that if you can exude, you will become undeniable to women? And this third trait is going to be you are culturally fluent. Oops. Let me fix that up. You are culturally fluent. Now, what do I mean by culturally fluent? I'm talking about a man that understands different perspectives, that can speak multiple languages, that can appreciate the beauty across cultures, the arts, the science, right? Theology, mythology. I'm talking about a true intellectual, right? In every sense of the word. You see, oftentimes in this space, in this male self-improvement space, it's either all about us men or it's all about tactics of how to get women. I've been very candid from the beginning and very transparent. I don't teach tactics. What's oftentimes not spoken about is how to truly stimulate a woman. Like I said, fellas, women want to be led by men who have acumen. And so that being said, if you are this man, as I've spoken about previously, that's dynamic, a man that's constantly evolving, right? You understanding different perspectives, different societies, different ways of thinking, right? It's not only gonna stimulate her on a deep level, but it's also gonna make her feel safe. It's gonna make her feel protected. You see, protection isn't just about physicality. Yes, that's important. But if you can make a woman feel protected, knowing that you're constantly gonna grow, knowing that you are a true intellectual, which is not spoken about enough, you're making her feel safe and simulated on many different planes. What's often not spoken about in this space is the spiritual plane. We talk about the physical, we talk about look maxing, we talk about what to say to a woman, pickup lines, tactics, things of that nature. We talk about all these things, but never how to lead yourself spiritually and how to lead a woman spiritually. Your ability to be a student of life, fellas, will be wildly sexy. I can't tell you how many encounters and relationships I've had all over the world with women that were just truly fascinated by a man like me. I get it. I'm a Haitian man, I'm an African man. It's not expected for me to be a polyglot. It's not expected for me to have been in over 30 countries and live all over the world and be as connected as I am and interested in all of the little weird things that I'm interested in. I get it. Breaking stereotypes. Well, your ability to break stereotypes will be wildly intriguing. It'll be stimulating. It'll be sexy, and it's going to make you undeniable. It's literally going to turn you into a real life James Bond. When we talk about the concept of a Renaissance man, all James Bond is a Renaissance man. People like to idolize James Bond. When I was a kid, I did. People like to idolize Bruce Wayne, these fictional characters. I did when I was a kid. But the truth is, you can become these characters in real life if you can exude and implement these traits that I'm talking to you about in today's video. But the thing is, this is not easy because this shit takes a lot of work. I didn't just come out the womb speaking 7 languages, fellas. I had to go to different societies and learn and evolve and iterate and try these different things. But what's the rush? And that's the thing with this space. This space is so cookie cutter. Guys come for help, but they want to do it quick. You don't get to be in the Bentley quick. Despite what you guys are seeing online, you don't get to learn these things and just, it happens tomorrow. You're going to have to iterate and try and implement and fail and keep going for years, fellas. This is what real personal development looks like. And it's not for anybody else, it's for you. And the fact that it's for you, when a woman comes into your world and you're congruent, right? And she can't move you off center, you're not doing things or trying tactics that you just learned on a freaking self-improvement podcast last week. But you've been implementing these things for you. When she comes into your world, because you're whole and complete without her, she'll submit. Okay? So the third trait that you guys need to implement in order to be undeniable and have women crave you is going to be a man that is culturally fluent. Let's move on to number 4. What's the 4th trait that if you gentlemen can implement, that you will have women craving you? And I'm speaking from experience. The 4th trait is you understand women without trying. Now, I want to be very honest. It took me a long time to be able to understand women like I do. I'm 31 years old and I'm still learning different things, right? But the fact is, you understand women without trying. What I mean by without trying is you don't overcompensate. You don't say too much. You don't try to prove yourself. Oftentimes, and I know because I talk to men every day from all over the world, when you guys meet a woman, especially when she's attractive, especially when it's the woman that you want, she might ask you a question and you just answer it. Or you just overextend emotionally. You have to be so rooted in yourself, you answer in a way that you want to. You don't have to give somebody every piece of information about you. You release the information slowly as if you were a story to be unraveled. Fellas, We're not doing all of this work on ourselves just to give ourselves away cheaply. You guys give yourselves away so cheaply to these women, and this is why they don't respect you. So if you're able to understand women, understand how to galvanize, polarize, how to play, how to lead, how to tease, right? How to make her think, how to make her respect you, how to be rooted in your masculine frame. This is going to be wildly sexy to women, fellas. You have to understand women. You can watch all these videos, but until you get out in the field, until you get rejected like I have hundreds of times, until you mess up, until you're timid and you're passive and you lose the girl that you wanted, until the girl walks out of your life and you're heartbroken and you got to pick yourself back up. You have to go through these things. You can't skip the process. Like I said, this is something that is going to have to be implemented, iterated, but your ability to understand and your intersexual intelligence with women. A woman asks you a question. For example, I was sitting down with a lady earlier this week, and she asked me, ¿A qué te dedicas? What do you do for work? And I responded, pues, yo hago lo necesario, right? I do what's necessary, right? She laughed, and she goes, no, but seriously. I was like, pues, yo vendo drogas. I sell drugs. You don't have to give people a straight answer. Now, the reason I did that was because I don't like telling people what I do for work out the back, especially people that I don't know. You're gonna have to earn that. I also don't like giving people my social media because they go on my account and start forming this image that they see I'm traveling all over, I'm in Iceland, I'm in this. Okay, yeah, that looks cool for Instagram, and I do have a personal brand, but if I'm getting to know somebody personally, let's get to know each other personally. Also, let's not only get to know each other personally, but let's see if you're worthy of being in my life. You see, what a lot of guys don't understand is how to operate from a position of power, especially with women. When you operate and you're in her frame, she's never gonna respect you. She's never gonna truly desire you. I don't care how much money you have, how attractive you are. You might even be able to hit, but you're not gonna be able to retain her. You must always have psychological leverage over the women that you are dealing with. And here's the thing, women come and women go, they're fickle, but you must always be in your frame. When a woman starts to earn you, then you can tell her more things about you. And what's that gonna do? Well, that's gonna build respect, especially when you guys start dealing with really attractive women. They're used to men dancing around, juggling bowling pins, doing all types of things for them. But if you could be rooted in your frame, if you can understand women, understand how to play with them, understand how to be yourself as a man and be calm. The woman that asked me that question on Monday, a very attractive, lovely young lady, I don't have to prove anything to you. Why do you want to know what I do for work? Huh? I do what's necessary. I tell you what, let's get to know each other in person. No, you're not going to get my Instagram. And I'm going to ask you a series of questions that's going to indicate to me if I want to get to know you further, if you're worth my time. But here's the thing, most guys can't do that because you don't have a plethora of women that are interested in you and you guys are living in scarcity. And I've been there too. It's absolutely okay to go through a sexual drought if you're working on yourself, fellas, because you often giving yourselves to women that are of a lower echelon, a lower status. I've said this before, why a man should never smash a six is because it's going to lower your respect for yourself and your confidence. Okay, so if you can understand all these things, fellas, you're gonna become more undeniable to women, and women are gonna crave you because you will truly be different. I'm not talking about a quick fix here. I'm seriously meaning how to become a truly different man. So let's move into number 5. Number 5, what is the 5th trait that if you gentlemen can exude, that women will be wildly attracted to you? And this is gonna be, you're grounded. I don't know what that D is, but you're grounded. Your ability to be grounded in who you are, your identity. I'm not even just talking about being masculine, fellas. I'm talking about your identity. You being able to be grounded in yourself. Something that's oftentimes not spoken about is being grounded in ambition, right? But also joy. Now, what do I mean by being grounded in ambition and joy? A lot of us men, especially us entrepreneurs, us high achievers watching this video right now, we are so ambitious. And because we're so ambitious, it makes it hard for us to connect in the present because we're always thinking about clients. We're always thinking about closing deals. We're always thinking about certain things, right? And so a woman can feel this nervous energy, this underlying uncertainty, which is really what it is. Because a man that's truly certain, a man that's truly poised and calm can enjoy the present moment. He's ambition, but he has balance to be present and joyful in this present moment, being present when you're with your woman. And do you know what this does, fellas? When you're able to master being ambitious, grinding, but also detaching and having fun, you're going to make your woman feel safe and she's going to trust your leadership. And when a woman trusts your leadership, you got her. When a woman trusts your leadership, she now craves you because even if there's other guys around you, let's say they got more money than you, let's say they're handsome or whatever, she got one that's actually all of these things, one that's congruent. You often see these successful athletes, you see these men who are successful. Why is it that their wives or their women still cheat on them? I mean, they got the money. I thought it was all about being 6'10", right? Having a 10-inch python and making millions of dollars. Clearly, there's some nuance to that, fellas. And the thing is, you have to be fully grounded. A lot of men who are successful these days by our standards, right? The truth is they might have the money, they might have certain things on paper, but they're not all of these things. They're not grounded. They're not leading their woman spiritually. They're not dynamic. They're not culturally fluent. This is something on a deep level. I'm talking about primal trust, stimulation, desire, and having a woman crave you. You can have a baddie for a year, maybe even 2, but it's not going to last. You have to be grounded with your ambition and with your joy. You have to know how to live in the present moment. And so many of us, men, and I can speak to you like this because I've struggled with this my whole life, and I still have to work on this, of being so driven, so ambitious, but not being able to detach and be in the present moment. And when you're with a woman, she can feel this. What's on your mind, baby? Nothing. She can tell you're stressed the fuck out. And life is stressful, fellas. We're always going to handle stress with your business, with your family, with your woman. People are dying around you. I've had multiple deaths in these past few months. But here's the thing. Your ability to move through all of that on center as a man, rooted in your identity as a man, makes you a free man. And just because you have money, just because you have options of women, does not mean that you're free. Just because you're in a penthouse does not mean that you're free. Freedom is something that's internal, and it comes from you being grounded. You know how many men who have millions who are not grounded? Listen to what I'm telling you. You see, you guys think that this is about women. It's not about women. It's about you. And if you're able to embody these traits, getting and attracting and keeping women is going to be nothing for you. You feel what I'm saying? So the 5th trait that you have to exude to be magnetic, to be undeniable, to have women crave you when they come encounter with you, is you have to be grounded. If you don't take anything else from this video, you have to take this right here. Let's move on to number 6. Now, what's the 6th trait that you have to embody in order to make women crave you? Number 6 is going to be your life. Listen to me. Your life commands respect. Now, I've spoken about this before. You gentlemen have to live a life that's worthy of respect. Now, I'm not talking about you have to have a mansion and Ferraris and you're flying on private jets. Yeah, that's a part of it. But if you're somebody that's not at that level yet, I'm surely not at that level yet, it's not about the material things, fellas. Let's snap out of Instagram world for a second where everybody's making $200,000 a day and everybody's in Dubai. Let's snap out of that. What I mean is that you have to be a man of principle, of value and discipline. Your woman has to see you working. She has to see that you have a standard, that there's a tone in your life. So when she comes in your life, there's a tone. And if she's off rhythm, she's getting kicked out. Simple. And so the way that you do this is by being congruent, like I said before, but you have to live a life that's worthy of respect. For example, I told you guys that I oftentimes allow myself, yes, because I discipline myself, I punish myself, right? I keep myself on a schedule. I allow myself to see a woman once or twice a week. And oftentimes the girl I'm seeing, I'll let her stay over on a Friday night. We'll have a passionate night, right? Chill, go on a date, come back to the crib, whatever. Now, when she sleeps over, right? Obviously we're going at it all night. Fantastic, that's fine. But the very next day, I'm up early. I don't care what day it is. I'm up early. I'm doing my yoga. I'm doing my meditation. I'm at the gym. I'm at my desk. I'm working. I'm getting to it. Why? It's because I have a standard. And I understand that part of the reason why she's even attracted to me in the first place is because she understands that I have a standard for myself. I have a standard, and whether she's laying in that bed with me or not, or I'm alone, I've got to get my black ass up. Why? Because I still have to do things for my mom. I still have to do things for my family. I still have to do things because I set out to be this caliber of a man, and I'm working towards being that man every day. And so it's not about the women, it's about the caliber of man that you are and the congruency and the consistency that you can sustain as a man. So you live a life that commands respect, whether she's there or she's not. And this also permeates to how other men perceive you as well. You can feel when a man who's on his shit walks in the room. This isn't something that could be faked. And that's the thing. A lot of guys are watching different tips and doing all type of shit and faking it. Get around some real dogs and they crumble. They food. And so if you gentlemen can learn how to exude this and live a life, I don't care what level you at. When I was driving Uber and I was sleeping on that couch, I was still garnering the attention of attractive women. Why? Because there was an energy to me. Okay, I might be in this position that's perceived as down right now, but I'm doing my thing. I'm driving my Uber. I'm making my little, you feel me, like $1,100 a week on a good week or whatever. And I'm putting this money towards here and I'm doing this and I'm hitting the gym and I'm working on my mind and I'm praying every day and I'm still being present. I'm ambitious as fuck. I'm studying different things, but I'm joyful in the midst of war, in the midst of the grind. Even though it's hard, man. This shit is fucking hard, but I'm still fighting and I'm still me and I'm still going forward and I'll never give up. I respect myself. So because you respect yourself, fellas, when somebody comes into your world, when somebody comes into your orbit, they gonna feel that shit. And the woman is definitely gonna crave you on a deep level. Because I promise you, listen to me, there are few men that are walking around that are living a life worthy of respect. And this is why the real victors get the milk and the honey and the fineness of bosoms. This is why every woman wants a top 1% man, because there's not a lot. Women want the best of the best, and you can't be angry at them. I want the best of the best. And to have the best of the best, you got to become the best of the best, fellas. And so number 6, if you can live a life at your level that commands respect and you have a standard for yourself, women are going to crave you. Moving on to number 7. Number 7, fellas, the 7th trait. And I said that number 5 was probably the most important, but I can't lie. This one is super important too. Number 7 is you are a visionary. And I want to apologize too, because I am still getting over a cold, so I'm a little bit congested. But you are a visionary. You have direction. Your purpose is your compass. And so when you are a man that's on a mission, right, this can be felt. Not only are you a man that's on a mission, previously we spoke about living a life that's that commands respect. Well, when I was driving Uber, I wasn't just driving Uber just to make money. No, I knew I was going to put that money somewhere. I knew I was going to get myself out of this situation. And that's all a woman wants, is a winner. You can be right here, but you're not comfortable. Even if you're up here, you're not comfortable. Oftentimes we talk about these highly successful men that already have $500,000 or $500 million in the bank, but they still getting it. It's because you cannot remain stagnant. If you remain stagnant, you die. So you being a visionary as a man, right? This isn't only sexy. You're not only building towards something, but this is something a woman wants to be a part of. She wants to be a part. A lot of you guys, you rob women of their natural desire to what? To be a helpmate. I don't care if you're talking about corporate women. I have, let me not say it like that. I'm about to say, I have women that, look, I'm dealing with women right now who are college professors, women who are in real estate, women who are doing very well for themselves, women who are boss babes, women who are, making way more money than me, right? Women who are perceived as having masculine A-type personalities like me. And I'm telling you, because I'm a visionary, because I'm grounded in who I am, when they come to me and they lean on my chest and we're in our little intimate moments and they submit and they want to help, like, I can't lie to you. I'm where I'm at today from the help of a lot of women. I'm not going to lie. That's why I got a lot of respect for women. I'll never talk bad about women. I've had some real good women hold me down. And I mean hold me down. Told you guys how when I was really struggling, I was living at my girl's house. I'm just being candid. I've had to sling some dang to have a place to stay. I don't say that proudly. It's just I'm being candid. And so when you allow the woman to submit unto you and you can lead effectively, even if she is already doing her own thing, and you don't rob her of the ability to be a helpmate, and she can naturally fall into that role because she's bought into what you're building and she wants to see you win. Not only is she indebted, like I said before, but she's going to desire you. Like, you guys got to understand how to take a woman on a journey. This is what's not spoken about enough. Once you learn how to take a woman on your journey, this is your vision that you're building. And with or without her, you're going to see that vision come to fruition. And when a woman gets on that ride with you and she see you putting in work, she naturally falls into that feminine role of nurturing, of supporting, even if she got her own thing going on. I oftentimes date business women, and I'm telling you, that's not an issue for me. Oh man, she's a businesswoman, so she's so masculine. I was talking with a friend of mine this past weekend, and we were talking about a colleague of ours. This guy, he is a South Korean. He's doing very well for himself. Very well for himself. And the guy has money. The guy has properties. The guy is a polyglot like me, right? But for some odd reason, he can't seem to find a good woman, right? And he said he doesn't want a woman that's educated because she's gonna be talking back to him. He prefers a woman that's not educated. He prefers a woman that's from, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. From my perspective, I'm like, if you're a successful man, why would you want a woman that's not educated? Oh, because they're gonna, bro, if you've built something as a man, you want a dumb bitch to come into your life that's not gonna add nothing to you? The woman that's gonna bear your children, the woman that's your heir, you want her to be stupid? Nah, for me, I like intelligent women. I like women that are capable. I like women that can add to my life. What's an uneducated woman gonna add? Okay, she's pretty. Okay, what? A couple of nights out the week, she's gonna lay on her back and take it? That doesn't do anything for me. Straight up. And so, you being a visionary and allowing a woman to be a helpmate, right? Whether she's educated or whatever you desire, you being able to exude this is going to make women passionate about you. It's going to make women follow you. Women want to be with you. It's going to make women obsessed with you, because there are few men that are visionaries that actually do the fucking work every single day. How many niggas are online talking about, I want to do this and da-da-da, and they not about shit. Straight up. Most men are weak and they're cowards. So that being said, if you can exude this right here and be a visionary and allow a woman to fall in the natural cycle of helping, of actually being a helpmate and falling into that role, into your vision, okay? If you can let her do this and not rob her of that desire that most modern women don't even know that they have because they've been brainwashed by all this Western media. If you can lead her and guide her to this point right here, you're gonna have her soul. Straight up. You're gonna have her soul. Man, I'm not even gonna put my personal business out there like that, but trust me when I'm telling you this. Let's move on to the 8th and final. Number 8. What is the 8th and final trait that if you can exude and embody will make women crave for you? I could have made this list longer, guys. Let me know if you would like me to make another video of this caliber. But the 8th trait is that there is a depth to you. I've touched upon this previously in this video. There is a depth to you. You're mysterious. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, Jacques, tú eres todo un misterio. Dudley, you're so mysterious. Until you're not. Until they figure you out. Then they're out the door. No, it's not. But there's a depth to you. You're mysterious. Not because you're hiding, like I said. Not because you're hiding, but because she has to earn that part of you. And there's more to be discovered. And so, like I said previously, you're taking her on a ride. And this is wildly sexy for women. You having a deep bag as a man, like I said in number 1, being dynamic, you having a deep bag and making people lean into you, because a woman is constantly going to be analyzing you in public social interaction settings, looking at how other men are reacting to you. And if you can get other men to respect you and lean in and befriend you, high-level men, you're going to make her crave you. You're socially validated. She's validated you. And you don't need to look for validation outside of yourself. Why? Because you have validated yourself. Women crave a layered presence. It keeps them intrigued, leaning in, and it makes the connection unforgettable. I can't tell you how many women who I've dealt with 6, 7, 8 years ago who are married, who have had kids, women who have been through all types of different seasons in life, who somehow always find themselves back to me. It can be one day I look on my Instagram stories and I see, oh, this woman who I used to be involved with back in college or what have you, a woman that I dealt with when I was living in Italy or when I was in Iceland or whatever, somehow find their way back to me and they reach out, hey, you know, I just want to thank you for what you taught me 5 years ago, or I was fantasizing about this. I was thinking about this. And then when they come back to you and they visit your profile or they reach out to you, they see that, whoa, you've grown even more over the years. This guy's not stopping. There's a depth to you. And that depth, fellas, has to come from true desire of preeminence. What do I mean? A true desire to maximize yourself. You see, most guys, we get comfortable. I know I used to. Maybe you're doing well for yourself right now. You're making good money, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures. Maybe you've got the girl. Maybe you got a family. I don't know what your situation is, but maybe you have what you wanted to get. And now probably you're thinking, now what? Now what? And so you get comfortable or you taste a little bit of success, but you can't sustain it. And you fall back to baseline. You got to get more depth to you, fellas. There's so much more to us men than what we've been told to focus on. And I get it. A lot of men, we're in survival mode. We're just focused on getting to the bag, getting the money, and then I could worry about all this shit, Dud. I want to learn different languages. I want to travel. I want to do all these things. But Dudley, my stomach is touching my back. I got so much pressure on me. I got to focus on just getting this money. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. We are what we think. When I was at my lowest, I was still building up myself intellectually. Fuck you talking about? I was still studying, intrigued by the arts, philosophy, all these things. Because I was able to escape reality and mold my reality to what I wanted via my mind. Like I said before, fellas, and I'll say it till the death of me, we work on ourselves as men in two ways, working in the 3D and working on the 3D. I gotta keep on saying this so you guys can understand what I'm saying. Your ability to have a depth to you, especially when you're in the midst of war. You don't think things are gonna go hard for you when you're with your woman? Obviously, but she's gonna be looking up to you to see what you're doing in this high pressure situation. I remember a few years ago, I was dating this girl and everything was going well for me. I had a 6-figure job, making good money, traveling, and I got laid off. And I didn't have work for like 3 months. And I was fucking stressed the fuck out. And I cracked and I was like cursing out one day, and I had an emotional outburst. You know, like a month later, the chick left. That's all she needed to see was that weakness, that I didn't have things under control. Hell yeah, she was worried because she was living with me. All she needed was to see that I didn't have it under control. You always have to have it under control, fellas. Always. There has to be a deeply rooted congruency and belief that regardless of what happens, you're going to be okay. And there's so many different layers to you as a man that you can explore all these different things as a modern day Renaissance man.